Hey guys, it's Damien here, and in this short training, I'm going to show you how to post a job listing on LinkedIn and sponsor it so that you get as many quality applicants as possible. So this is the result of an email I sent out. Lots of people expressed interest, but one of the challenges with LinkedIn is that you can't have someone else go on and do it for you. When you list a job on LinkedIn, it's connected to your individual profile, and any applications will come through to you. And if somebody wants to actually look at the details of that job, a personal profile has to be accountable for that job. So if you're it's not something you can outsource to an outside agency. You have to do it yourself. Hence the fact that we'll do this quick training. I'm going to take you through it. Probably only take about 10 minutes for you to do this. And the result is that you'll get the ad up on LinkedIn. You'll be able to sponsor it, show it to as many people as possible, and ideally get way more applications than you're getting on other platforms. So I'll run you through the way that we did this. So this was the job we posted a bit over a year ago now. And this is how the job looks on LinkedIn. Um, so this is viewed as a candidate. This is what the person will see. So they'll see a little bit of information about the company, and then they'll see the job listing here. Now, what I'd recommend about these job listings, and I've seen a few over the last few days from people who are telling me they're interested in this, in doing this as well. I think following a set format for the job listing is a good idea. So I've seen some which are just sort of don't have any bullet points and not a lot of structure to them. So the way we did it was we did a little bit of sort of a summary and intro to the job, and then about the experience. So explaining who the person is, what you're looking for, what type of person are they, what are their skills, and then it's really important here to break it down into things like what will they be doing, what will they be responsible for. So bullet points are really helpful here. They help applicants just scan through it. And then we have essentials. So this is stuff, non-negotiables that the person has to have in the role. And then nice to haves. It's a bonus if you have these things. It'll be considered favorably. And then I think it's also important to have a little bit about the company and the culture, because you're asking them to buy in and become a part of your company's, your organization. So definitely have a little bit about the company. And then these days especially, it's important to say, is it going to be remote? What are the expectations in terms of actually coming to the office? Is it a hybrid? Is it remote? So that's something applicants are really interested in. So putting that there, I think that's just as important as any kind of salary expectations or anything like that. And that's really it. And they will actually add all this stuff automatically. So about the company will be added here, and they'll show similar jobs and things on the listing as well, just like anywhere else. So to make this happen, all you need to do is actually, so whoever in the company is going to be responsible for this ad and getting, whoever wants to be getting the applications, they need to log into LinkedIn. It's very simple to do this. So all they need is a standard LinkedIn profile. And what you'll do is on your LinkedIn profile, so this is my profile, an example, up here on the menu, you have this little tab called Work. And when you click that, you have all these little hidden tabs that pop up here. And one of them is Post a Job. So all you have to do is click on that, and this takes you across to what they call LinkedIn Talent Solutions. Now, the really interesting thing here is when you list job, and what I'm going to do in this example is I'm going to list this exact job as the same job, just to show you, because it's just going to be easier. But the funny thing is, you don't have to be a manager on the company that you're advertising the job for. So I can actually list a job to work at Google, which doesn't make a lot of sense. You'd think they'd only let me advertise on pages that I have access to. So you just choose your own company page from here, and then you choose whether it's remote, hybrid, or on site. So for this example, I'm going to choose remote, and then the location. It only has to be, if it's remote, obviously, it only has to be the country. If you want someone in person, you can nail it down to the suburb where your office is. Where are they going to be responsible for? Now, it's obviously part-time, full-time contract. That's self-explanatory. So if we say full-time, actually I'm going to put part-time. Get started for free. So then, what it does is it takes us to this job description option, and that's exactly what I was just showing you. So if you've already got the job up on Seek or somewhere like that, all you have to do is copy and paste that job. So in this case, all I'm going to do for the example is copy and paste the previous listing. And the good thing about LinkedIn is it allows a bit of formatting. So some other platforms you can't actually format any of the text. So I definitely recommend just making things bold, um, doing bullet points and stuff like that, just so it's easy for the person to skim. And that. And then you can add your skills down here. So they've already added them for me, and so I can remove any of these. I can add skills if I want to. I could say, advertising, online advertising. So in your case, obviously replace these. If they'll probably, I think they scan the text of your ad and your description, and they'll put in a few things by default. So just review them, make sure they're suitable. And these are important because they're going to choose who gets shown your ad based on what skills you put here. It'll match these skills to the person's profile. So try to match those up. So in my case, in this example case, I'm not interested in ads. It's an operations manager, so it's more about the operations management, operations, that sort of thing, and some marketing. So then when we click continue, it'll ask how we want to receive these applications. So if you have you can receive them via email as alerts, but if you have a careers page on your website, you can also do it that way. So in that case, you would just put external website, and you just put the job listing from your website here. I wouldn't put Seek here because it's just adding an extra step. If you've got your job on Seek or something like that, don't put Seek in here. Just leave it as receive the applications by email, because otherwise it's going to send them to Seek, and it's going to just add extra layers to the process, and the person can drop off, just like any sort of marketing activity. But if you do have on your own website, and it's a page where they can submit their resume and everything in the format you want it in, then that's where you would do that. So in this case, I'm just going to put, I want to receive them via email. And this is really cool as well. You can put a few screening questions in. So you can say, it'll have suggestions. So like, do you have a driver's license? Do you have X amount of years industry experience? And you can choose the industry. So again, it's auto-suggested a few. And this must-have qualification means it won't even allow the person to apply if they don't say yes to that particular question. So I'll give you another example here. Let's say urgent hiring. So we must fill this position urgently. Can you start immediately? You want them to answer yes, and they must have that qualification. So now if I posted this job and someone comes along and says no, they can't start right away, they're not even going to process that application. It won't even come through to me because I've said I only want people who say yes to this question. So there's a whole bunch of set questions there, like the on-site, the hybrid, I think there's one for hybrid, language, education, all those things. And you can actually now add your own custom questions. So, you can say, do you understand such and such? And if they have to say yes and agree to that. And it could be a number like how many years they've done something or something along those lines. So it's all pretty self-explanatory. Now you can filter out and send rejections to applications who don't meet any must-have qualifications. So that means they'll just automatically get a rejection letter saying, sorry, you didn't qualify. So in this case, I'm just going to leave those few default ones, but I think you can put as many here as you want, and they actually recommend putting at least 3. I'm going to remove that one. I'm going to remove that one. And I'm just going to leave those ones there about how many years experience they have in those various. Actually, I'm going to remove that because that was a duplicate. So digital marketing and operations are the only things that I really care about for this particular listing. I would actually put more if I was going to spend time on this, but that'll do for now for the example. And now I'm going to post the job for free. You can preview it there if you want to see it first. So now it just takes you here automatically. Now the next step is you can just select free if you want to. But the fact is, if you're going to bother to do this, I definitely recommend putting some money behind it, because as you saw from my results, I spent about $300 and got 100 applicants. So, so you can see here, 33 a day. They're estimating 83 applicants. So 33 a day would be $1,000 spend. They're estimating 83 applicants for $1,000 spend. So you just scale that down. If you want 20 applicants, you could probably spend about $300. And that you just choose how fast you want that budget to happen. So if you're really in a hurry to hire someone quick, you could make that 50 a day or 100 a day, whatever you want it to be. I wouldn't make it too high, because with any kind of advertising, it's better to drip it out over time. Because if you think about it, not everyone's going to be on LinkedIn today. There's going to be people who don't log into LinkedIn for another week, and so you kind of want to space it out and then allow LinkedIn to show it, to have time to show it to as many people as possible. So I think that 33 is probably a good recommendation if you're not in a great hurry. And then, yeah, so 33 is also the minimum. So if you're going to bother sponsoring it, you need to do the 33 a day. And the total, you can also set total so you don't have to worry about it, and it will just do the 30 days. But I would say just manage it daily, and then so you can keep an eye on it. So if you get someone amazing in the first few days and you want to stop advertising, you can just come back in here and turn it off and it'll stop showing it. So in this case, I'm going to promote the job. And it's actually going to now take me into the advertising section inside LinkedIn. Now I've already got this set up from previous times. If you don't already have this set up, it's very straightforward. All you do is enter in your company credit card details or any other payment method. You can choose from all the standard ones, including PayPal. You review your budget, and then you just go ahead and click Promote Job. So you can then turn that in. I'm not going to do that because I'm not actually listing this job, but all it would be is as simple as that. I would click Promote Job, and then it starts spending that budget, whatever it is, 33 a day, 50 a day, 100 a day. So it also depends on the size of your audience as well. If you're advertising in a whole city, where it is, and they'll figure that out based on your location. So that's really all there is to it. And then I definitely recommend keeping an eye on it and seeing what sort of applications you get through that. But as you can see, it's a very straightforward process. It's taken 15 minutes to go through this whole step by step. And I just think it gives you a whole different channel from what you've got available on things like Seek, because you're sort of taking control of it and you're choosing who it gets in front of. And for certain industries, you're going to have a lot more people active on LinkedIn, and even if they're not actively looking for a job on Seek, they might be open to, a lot of them are going to be open to moving, open to changing roles, and you're going to reach them when they're thinking about that. So I hope that was helpful. By all means, get in touch if you've got any questions. And but yeah, I think it's a really good channel. All right, cheers.